YouTube. I'm back. It's Tone back with another one for you. Right. So what we have here is it's called Form 13909, and this is for the Treasury Department as well. And so this is when you notice any fraudulent or terrorist activity coming from the individuals that are usually part of, organized crime and shit like that, which is whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna knock anybody's hustle, but when you put them on notice of the fact that you understand what it is that they're doing and they carry on with their bullshit, that's when you go ahead and file paperwork like this, right? And then you have their bosses come down on them and shit. It's really not that difficult, to be honest with you. You'd be surprised how many people don't do this, and that's why nothing ever gets done. So you're gonna want to send, you put this on the record. You're gonna want to file this as evidence. Also, you're gonna want to send copies of that to an out-of-state criminal investigations division at the IRS. You don't want to deal with the same state. They're all usually part of the same little organized crime type shit or whatever in the same state. But when you go out of state, they probably don't know these people. You know what I mean? So they're gonna come in and handle business. You'll be surprised. I mean, there's a lot of people who actually do the right thing out there, so they wouldn't look at this and just overlook it like that. A lot of people just don't know that they have these options. So we're gonna look at what this is saying here. So the name of the referred organization, tax exempt organization complaint, which, mind you, a lot of these organizations are not tax exempt organizations, but you're gonna file it as a tax exempt organization to get their attention. Boom. They're gonna look into it and see that these dudes are really running private corporations and shit, pretending to be tax exempt organizations. That right there alone is crazy. What the fuck? Right? So this is what they're doing. Pretending to be tax exempt organizations. They're not filing taxes on the money that they're making, that they're jacking out of your trust and your freaking estates and all that. You know what I mean? So they're bullying people, doing it by force, kidnapping people, doing all types of crazy shit. So you put their address here, the city, and then you go down to the nature of the violations here, and you see directors, officers, persons are using income assets for personal gain, which of course they are, right? That shit's all getting funneled into private trusts or things out of the country or whatever. Then you have organization is engaged in commercial for-profit business activities. Now, how you going to parade as a tax-exempt organization, which you would be if you were an actual governmental agency? And keep in mind that when you start to engage in commerce and you engage in Federal Reserve notes and you're accepting money from people, you are now demoted from what would have been a tax-exempt organization to a mere corporation. So you have no more power than Walmart does at any point that you decide to accept money from people. Because a real governmental organization has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with it. So you're a for-profit business parading as a tax-exempt organization. Okay. So fraud right there, obviously. Income assets are being used to support illegal or terrorist activities, which of course they are. Organized crime and all that shit. And then you have organization refused to disclose or provide a copy of Form 990. You can give these people a W-9 and have them fill it out, and if they refuse to, then you can just send it directly to the IRS. And so this is to get their EIN information for your tax purposes, because you're entitled to the full value of whatever this charge actually is. It's not them that's supposed to be getting the value behind the charge. Is you, because you're the beneficiary. So the organization fails to report employment income or excise tax liability properly. Organization failed to file required federal tax returns and forms on the case, because they're filing that on their books as a either a liability or an asset whenever they file a charge with you. And so you need the IRS to come do a forensic audit on all their books, and this goes for the and so all of these actors, they're all part of different corporations. So the prosecutor's department will be a separate business. They're running through a LLC to try to limit their liability. Now keep in mind, even though they're doing shit like that, they are still liable as a man or as a woman, as opposed to the business as well. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm a plumber and I crash into you with my fucking plumber's van, yeah, you can sue my business, but you could also sue me as a man too. You know what I'm saying? So you can sue the LLC and you can sue them in their private capacity as well. Their public and private capacity. They're liable on both lanes. You know what I'm saying? But they won't tell you that. But I will. So definitely shit that you need to know here. Then we're gonna move on to the second paper here. I mean, which is the bottom part of the same paper actually. And so, you know, you go ahead and fill out any pertinent information, description of activities. You know what I'm saying? You go in there, let them know that you went in there. You told them that you're going to be filing a 1099 on the case. They want to act like they don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so then you just start sending the documentation over to the IRS because they want to be playing games. Okay, so now you're making some moves here in the case, and these people are scrambling. Mind you, behind the scenes they're going to be scrambling. They're not going to know what the fuck to do. Because they're all fucking retarded back there. They don't even know what their job is. So then, and that's a fact. That's a fact. You go in there talking about law to any of these dumbasses, and they're gonna look at you like you're fucking crazy. But you ask them when was the last time they picked up a fucking law book. Matter of fact, ask them when the fuck was the last time they picked up a law book. Because I'd like to know too. So occupation or business, executor of the. This is going to be your all capital letter name, TM, which is a trademarked, and you should have it all trademarked as well. Whenever you go in here, you're going to want to file your contracts that you may or may not have with the state, or bring your own contract there for them at that moment in case so they don't act like they've never been served with it. You know, file that as evidence, because that's going to be. I mean, you're going to have your fee schedule on there and everything. And so this is executor of the all capital letter name trust. Estate and the private trust. The street address is going to be care of, and then your mailing address. To make sure that you put mailing address, because it's not your address. You don't reside anywhere. You domicile or you inhabit, right? There is no residence. So then your city, your state, the republic in your state, not the actual overlaid corporate state, the actual republic, which every continent is. In America, without the U.S., without the United States, because the United States is on America. It's not the United States of America. The United States is on America, and you know, so they were issue limited delegated authority to run their little corporations here, and the shit got way out of hand, as you can tell, right? So if you're concerned that you might face any retaliation or retribution if your identity is disclosed, you know, then you could check that box and maybe do it in a confidential fashion. But you know, I could almost guarantee these pussies aren't going to do anything. Like, they basically run off fear. They want you to think that they would, but a lot of these people really don't got the heart like that. They really don't live like that, but they want you to think that they do. So, and just because they do something like that doesn't mean that it was legal or none of that, because anybody can do anything. It doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? So, and ultimately, man, whoever moves in honor in any of these situations is going to be the winner regardless. So, and it may look like they're winning right now in the beginning, but trust me, there's somebody watching these fucking people. No matter how good that they think that they have this shit, somebody's fucking watching you, bro. And you will pay. You will pay. So, that's what I got for you for now. Another major key right here. You know, something to keep in mind. So you can go ahead, probably file this with the form 211. Go ahead and get those both done. And you know, this is after you give these people an opportunity to cure. Like, you don't have to approach them in any certain fashion. You know, speak to them like they're regular people. And you know, ultimately you're gonna end up probably getting into the courtroom where there's nobody in there. It's just gonna be you and a couple people, regular dress people. They're not gonna have a black dress on. It'll be a private meeting, and you can go ahead and try to reach settlement and closure at that point. But if at any point they decide to keep moving forward, like they have no idea what you're talking about, that's when you drop the bomb on their ass. Really that simple. So that's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.